Hello, everybody. Let me turn down the music a hair. There we go. Just had to turn down the music a hair. Now let me let people know that I am live. Okay. Okay, first let's go here. What's this? Thank you, Stream Elements. I know the Stream Elements bot always got me. Okay, got that situated. Okay. Okay, I think I've let people know that I'm live. Got my VTuber up and running. Let's hop over to just chatting. Got the Lofi Girl playlist bopping. Oop, okay. All right, so today is going to be fun. I wanted to test my settings because I haven't had a writing stream on the new computer yet. I kind of tinkered with that with my Minecraft stream, But like that was more of a web stream than an actual writing stream. I'm being so bad right now. My roommate got me as kind of a treat some Mountain Dew Zero Sugar. And I shouldn't be drinking it because it has so much caffeine. And caffeine is terrible for my heart, right? I drank energy drinks for like, I drank energy drinks off and on for like a week. And then when I went to the doctor, my heart rate was like dangerously high. And my doctor's like, yeah, you probably, like, my doctor's like, have you done anything differently? And I'm like, besides the fact that I'm having a small panic attack, I had caffeine. And my doctor's like, well, you need to lay off that. But I'm being so bad and sipping this Mountain Dew Zero Sugar. Hey, Superhero 60, how was your weekend? You get anything fun done? Okay. So, like, my cousin's kid is like this, like, super, like, hardworking, dedicated kid, right? Who, like, is so ambitious, well-mannered, and like so caring and loving. And he's doing this whole big project for his Eagle Scout project, right? And like seeing how dedicated this kid is just makes me feel like, wow, what did I do with my childhood? I was just in choir. Like this kid's actually trying to like change the world. All right, so my weekend was interesting. I went grocery shopping on Sunday. Helping your sister move into her apartments. That's cool, Superhero 60. Saturday, what did I do Saturday? I think I did I know I did something Saturday. I think I did a bunch of writing on Saturday. I did a bunch of like work and prep work for my Sunday session. And I still have to prep for tomorrow's Lancer session. I kind of just play to find out now. I have limited plans. And I remember back when I used to have so many things planned out and so many things prepped and ideas ready. And now sometimes it feels like I barely have it together. That's cool that you were helping your sister move into her apartment. I had a interesting Lancer session. We had a session where we had everybody there. The thing with Lancer is that once you get into this times and like the relativity and all that stuff of space travel, it makes like going from one planet to the next, you either time skip it and then you just lose a bunch of time, or you do stuff and then you just have a lot of things happening in the in transit. And that's kind of where I'm at, where I've been trying to have interesting things happen to my players while they've been in transit, moving from one place to another, in order to encourage them to like actually have fun stuff happening and to do stuff. And so we're getting to the end of this like long series of travel sessions, right? And what I didn't exactly count on was how much the stuff I was introducing was going to extend the session. Like the travel could have been a single session, but it's been like 4 sessions because we've had periods of time where players couldn't make it, and I didn't want us to like arrive at the destination without all the players there. And we did. The players are finally getting to their destination, and it's proving to be this like really interesting and intense storyline. I've folded in ideas from a lot of different sources of media. I folded in some of the ideas from the core, from the plot line of Final Fantasy VII, which I have played. And I'm folding in some of the themes, names, and ideas from Skyrim, which I have not played, which is really funny. I'm folding in these ideas based on what I've read on wiki articles and what I found on doing my own research and reading about Skyrim instead of actually playing Skyrim. And it's only like tangentially related to Skyrim, but I think it's funny. I think it's funny, and it's been proving to be this really exciting adventure for the players. As stuff is unfolding and as this whole thing is happening, there was this really funny moment where like they were talking with this person that they were delivering this planet to, right? Because they found a rogue planet. And the person recognized one of the players, and it's like there was this event that had happened previously on the last world the players were at, which happened in this big public place, and I was like, I gotta do something with it. And I thought one of the player characters was the one that was visibly seen, so I was gonna focus this on one of the player characters, and one of the other players like, nope, actually that was my character. My character was the one who was there doing that thing. And I was like, really? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, that seems odd. Like, no, I distinctly remember that being my character. I'm like, okay, you made sure that we got all the facts straight, so this is all gonna be on you. Which isn't like, I'm not trying to like punish her for like keeping the facts straight. I just thought it was really funny that like by reminding me exactly what happened, she brought some of these consequences that were going to fall on somebody else on her, which proves to be really interesting. And it leads to all of this stuff. There was a whole thing where a picture of what the players did became a meme and went viral. So now the player has to deal with being recognized sometimes in public, being like, hey, you're the person from that meme. And I just wanted it to be like kind of a funny thing, a bit of a challenge, because they're trying to keep a low profile. I'm like, okay, well, you were featured in a meme, So you have to decide how you're going to deal with that, right? And I'm expecting the players to just like be like, okay, we gotta maintain secrecy, we gotta be careful, blah 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 blah. But then they just lean into it. They just lean into it. And they're like, yeah, we're gonna lean into this and gonna have this person be like internet famous, and they name her the dragonic leader of their group, and just everybody's just kind of laughing about it. Even this one NPC who's like her sister, she's like, why are you laughing? Weren't you afraid this was a cult? And I was like, I completely forgot that the sister was worried about it being a cult, and I was just in the moment. So I just kind of ran with it. So I was like, she says that she's just accepted it's a cult, but it's a cult that's good for you right now, that of people that care about you. And no, it's not Haruka Caribou. It's something that happened in my Lancer game. The players are becoming more and more of a cult, and it's really funny. Anyway, shouldn't you be Silva? Shouldn't you be on? I know you heard cult and thought Haruka, because you got VTuber brain rot. Oh, you're waiting on Hattie. I was like, aren't you supposed to be doing a thing? So I did that. That was fun. Almost started late today because like I took a shower and I was just really slow getting started because I was up so late playing Lancer last night that I've just been feeling so like bleh, because it's been so hot. Even in my basement, it gets so muggy that I'm just like bleh. And it's one of the reasons I know I could never survive back in Florida. Like if I moved back to Florida, I would just melt. Like I would just absolutely melt and be uncomfortable the entire time. So Silva, is Hattie doing that like Realm Reborn, whatever Final Fantasy 14 stuff on stream? Like, is Hattie streaming? Or are you just doing it off stream to get it done? Third expansion. Okay, and there's like 4 expansions, right? Mm-hmm. Right, I remember that. I know she's been streaming it. Technically, yes. Okay. Well, it's good that they got their stuff together. And is the upcoming stuff going to be the true end game? Is that what's happening? Like the upcoming stuff is going to be the true, like, end game? Kind of not really. Okay. That clears it right up. Oh, so they're starting a new story. That's ambitious. To start a new story this long into the game's lifetime? That's ambitious. I'm not saying that they were bad. I'm just saying, like, normally, especially for like service games, like, because hasn't it been around for like 10 years? Didn't 14 like come out like 10 years ago? When did Final Fantasy 14 come out? Let me check it out. All right, so yeah, about 10 years ago. So starting an entirely new story 10 years into the service life of a game? Hold on. Yeah, but yeah, starting an entirely new story is pretty brave. Like, I'm not saying that the expansions haven't been good. That if anything, like, just shows that their dedication pays off. But yeah, that's interesting. You know, it's interesting. Seeing a lot of how people have been reacting and calling out some of the stuff in Baldur's Gate 3, right? All of the heavy references to fantasy racism in Baldur's Gate 3, and it's like, and it's really interesting to see people say, like, this is a thing that is kind of problematic, but that doesn't change the fact that Baldur's Gate 3 is a great game. And I like that people are being respectful of the fact that it is a great game that had a lot of time and effort put into it, but then also discussing the fact that, like, there's this, like, baked in bioessentialism concept in traditional fantasy. And, like, I believe that started with the early interpretations of Tolkien's work, because it was really easy to see the dwarves, elves, orcs, and halflings all as expressions of different ideas or aspects of humanity more than they were actually, like, fleshed out races. I'm not saying that Tolkien didn't flesh them out, I'm saying that's how a lot of people interpreted it. And like seeing how different sides have reacted to it, it's been really sad that like there is a group of people that are saying that they believe racism to be a constant and necessary, almost necessary part of human society, which is why they defend the existence of fantasy racism, because it mimics the racism we see in our world today. And I'm like, I don't believe that. Like, I believe that we are capable of growing past that. And like, hey Nabiru, how was your weekend, Nabiru? But yeah, that's been interesting seeing that discourse popping up around the internet. No, like, seeing the different sides and the different takes on it has been really interesting, seeing that pop up. All right, as usual, did you read any new manga? Let me see how much Mio I have left. I probably need to get some more Mio. Oh, I got some. Got a little bit of my orange tangerine. Just by continuing one that's odd. What's so odd about it, Nabiru? What's so odd about it? Hit me with it. What's so odd about it? I could snatch 999 abilities. It's odd because it's basically what would happen if All for One was the hero, but my hero was the good guy. It steals from those who abuse their powers. I think you mentioned that last stream, Nabiru. I think you mentioned that last time. I think that's I think a story like that could have a lot to say with like public safety. 200 plus chapters, holy cow. I'm over here begging to get more chapters of the Gao Geiger vs. Better Man manga. So, okay, Gao Geiger, you're no speed reader. I think you, from what you've told me, it sounds like you keep up a pretty healthy pace. So, one of my favorite anime of all time is Gao Geiger. King of Braves, Gao Geiger. And there was another side story, but it's like a side story in the barest source of the word. It like takes place in another part of the world. I think it's another part of Japan actually. And it features, like, it takes place in the same world, and it has 1 to 2 characters that cross over, but the entire themes and stuff is different. Whereas Gao Geiger is this, it's a part of the Brave series, so it's a mecha show, but it's full of hope and possibility. It was one of the only mecha shows of its time, one of the only popular shows of its time that didn't feature the government as some kind of like secret cabal trying to destroy and enslave the world. and didn't have any kind of like secret shadow organization in the government. And then there's Better Man, which is this like pseudo side story that's a horror anime which has completely different themes. It does feature mecha, but the mechs aren't the main focus of the show. And like they did a re-release of the second season of the OVAs of Gao Geiger, featuring more characters and themes that tied Gao Geiger to Better Man. So I wanted to watch that re-release of the OVAs of the Grand Glorious Gathering. But I made myself watch Better Man first. And that was hard. It was hard to get through Better Man because it was so different from what I was looking for. But I made it through. And then I watched, and there was like a couple references, but not a whole lot. I probably didn't need to have watched Better Man for it. But then I found out that there was another story that was, I guess, supposed to become another anime, but ended up becoming a novel, and it is getting turned into a manga or something, called Gao Geiger vs. Better Man, which is a sequel to Grand Glorious Gathering. So I've been reading that, right? And like for that, I'm glad I watched Better Man, because if I hadn't watched Better Man, I would have been completely confused. If I had not watched Better Man, I would have been completely confused with what's going on in this manga, because it does heavily feature the tech, the themes, and the characters from Better Man. Better Man's main girl has a unique hair color. It's been so long since I watched Better Man. I just remember oh yeah, the weird like red and green. Yeah, the weird red and green. I think there was like some story to her character. She becomes a side character in the Better Man versus Gao Geiger, or Gao Geiger versus Better Man manga. Hmm. You know, every time I turn on Wikipedia, I keep seeing, yeah, 90s hair was interesting. Gao Geiger had its fair share of interesting characters. Gao Geiger was very different from the other Brave series, because normally in the other Brave series, the Brave machines were like sentient or somehow like self-aware, and usually the human characters were like kids or people who were like on the ground helping, or maybe like fused with them or some kind of a thing. But in Gao Geiger, you have this side character guy who pilots Gao Geiger by fusing with it and controlling it from the inside. But the main character is the kid whose name I forgot, because Guy is my favorite. And the kid has his whole arc as he tries to come into understanding who and what he is. Ba 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 ba. When I go onto Wikipedia, I keep seeing the thing being like, can you donate $3? Can you donate $1? Can you donate such and such dollars? And like, it's true. Wikipedia has provided me so much value in my life that, like, if I could, I would definitely pay them for the services they provide, but I can't. And like, if there ever comes a time where Wikipedia gets shut down because people aren't donating to use it, it is going to be a huge blow to humanity. Because Wikipedia has become such a powerful resource for humanity. Okay. But yeah. So that's a cool anime. My roommate started watching Dagwon, one of the other Brave series that has like kids fusing with machines to become these like brave machine warriors. And he keeps talking about how I need to watch Dagwon. I'm like, probably. Like, I'll probably sit down and watch it at some point. Anyway, it's 9:07. Let's get to it. Let's get to the meat and potatoes of tonight's stream. Gonna be checking my settings, making sure I have everything situated perfectly. Gonna be doing some writing. For those of you who don't know, I've been working on a story for a while now. Deus Ex Machina. Story of a dystopian future in which a extremist version of Christianity has taken over the world, and the main character is a pilot of a mech for a rebel organization that's fighting these religious monstrosities, these huge monsters that are based on beasts from that are based on like these like hyper accurate depictions of these massive beasts from the Bible. And injected into the middle of all of this mixture is Jesus coming again, and then the whole going back and forth with Jesus choosing the main character as his prophet, and the fact that the main character can call upon Jesus to bring his giant robot to come and do what they can't, and to fight the battles that they are unable to fight. Because Jesus doesn't just destroy the monsters, he frees the person from inside the monster, because they know that like people will get turned into these monsters. So that's a whole thing. That's a whole thing. And I've been doing a thing where I plan out 3 chapters at a time. Plan out 3 chapters, write those 3 chapters. Plan out 3 more chapters, write those 3 chapters. It's kind of like a cross between being a plotter and a pantser, and it's me trying something new, where instead of doing a huge plot that I have for the entire story, I let some of the inspiration and stuff hit me as I go, so that way I can let the story grow and develop on its own as I write it. So we're gonna tonight be looking at what I have written so far a little bit, and we're gonna be looking at what I have plotted so far and the outline that I've been using in order to help with plotting the chapters, and we're gonna be plotting the next 3 chapters. Okay, so let's get to it. All right. All right. Getting all the programs open. Alrighty. Let me get this situated. Of course this is wrong. This is exactly why I wanted to check my settings. All right, let's... Why is this such a weird shape? Why is this notepad app such a weird shape? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Like Windows, going from the notepad from Windows 10 to Windows 11 is just drastically different. Okay. There we go. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. So, got this situated. All right. So, now starting Act 2. Hero explores the new world. So, at the end of the last chapter, chapter 9, let me... So in the end of the last chapter, hold on one second. Is shockwave is one word or two? All right, it can be spelled both ways. Okay. So, we had the end of the fight, right? Also, let me... That reminds me... Let me check what this looks like. Oh, excuse me. Oh yeah, that is darker. Let me adjust my lighting. Let's see what the lighting looks like on that. That looks fine. But this... Let me just turn up the brightness a little bit. Yeah, now that I look at this, this looks so much darker. This looks so much darker on OBS Studio than it does in actuality. Even that doesn't look that much better. Let me... Why is this so much darker? That's better. It just looks off. Wait, I already have a color correction on here. Oh. I had a color correction that instead of increasing the brightness, increased the contrast for some reason. Okay, let me turn this down. Let me look at this and see what this looks like. That's a little bit better. I can't, like, I was so confused why it appeared so dark. There we go. Now the letters are much clearer. Okay. There we go. Get the contrast adjusted. It's not as dark as it was, but it's got the brightness to make up for it. It's readable. It's readable. Okay. Anyway. I already have a color correction on this and it helps. Okay, so this is the outline that I've been using to work through for most of this stuff. We just finished the push, which was where he gets pushed into the new world, right? And he's pushed into the new world was this experience where he saw this outpost, this resource outpost that had been abandoned by the state church. And the rebellion didn't want to help them. But he felt called to help them, and he felt like it was his duty to help them. And his solution, instead of like collecting from others or putting together some kind of a drive to get supplies to go over there, his solution was to use their mechs and steal all the supplies they were taking and take them over to the outpost. Taking from one hungry group of people to give to another hungry group of people. Which is not the best way to go about doing things. But the character felt like he had to do it. And then when they were on their way to the outpost to deliver those supplies, Greg, the person who previously was one of the divine beasts, finally revealed the secret that he'd been sitting on for the last chapter. And he reveals that whenever one of these outposts get abandoned, nobody ever hears from the people again because they normally get exterminated by the divine beasts. It's this big reveal that the people who go to work on these outposts, even the guards who are operating them, are all people who have no power, who are low on the power structure, who are the poor, the hungry, the helpless, the homeless, that are rounded up, promised a job, promised steady work, that promised a leg up in the world and a path to self-improvement. But in reality, they're being removed from the system. Their labor is being exploited, and then they're being exterminated before they can actually collect on all of the resources they've been promised. So their labor is just being exploited. There's usually some kind of like spin in the news that says some kind of thing about some rebel group or some famine or some natural disaster or thing happening to the outpost, and how they're, thoughts and prayers for all of the people that got lost. But then the it also serves to reinforce this idea of like scaring people into staying in the mega cities. They're staying in the land cities. And it proves to be this interesting dynamic. It keeps the people scared, it keeps them there, but like just like everything else in the media, very quickly it gets passed over. It gets forgotten. There's always some new crisis, some new thing. Yes, evil but typical. Definitely Naberu. And the only people who really know about this, who know the truth of this matter, are the divine beasts. But the divine beasts who are used to commit these atrocities, whenever they become a beast, they lose the ability to speak. They lose their humanity. So they have no one to tell. They've given up their family, their humanity. They've given up their lives so that people can, so that their loved ones can live a better life. And even the dedication and faith of these, the dedication and faith of the divine beast is being exploited as well. So this push into the new world, where before the main character was, I'm thinking as I'm talking. I don't have any of this really prepared. We're brainstorming as we go. And that's kind of the point of tonight's stream, is to look at this stuff, to brainstorm, to get some stuff plotted out for the next couple chapters, and to find ways to turn that into words. And this kind of brings out one of the things I saw expressed in a meme before was I saw this meme where someone was saying oh, if you have a writing contract and you're getting in advance and you're writing less than like 3,000 words a day, you're taking advantage of your publisher and blah 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 blah. Or you're just lazy and blah 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 blah. And some other writers were like, listen, like, if you count writing as just typing words into a word processor or putting words on the page, if that's all you define writing as, then I guess I see where you're coming from. But writing is so much more than that. Writing is brainstorming. Writing is researching. Writing is making sure words mean what you think they mean. Like, there's so much more to writing than just typing words into a word processor. And that's one of the reasons why I like to plot things out, because it does make it easier if I do all my brainstorming in like one big clump. And then when it comes to writing, I just have to put the words down. So anyway, main character was a member of an organized rebellion, but he was a nobody. He was a grunt. He was a mech pilot operator. He was a mech operator. They called them Olympians. And he was a mech operator. But he stepped into a new world when he made this decision to steal the supplies. When he made the decision to steal the supplies, he started to step into a new world. And then when he got caught in the middle of this battle between Jesus and the divine beast, people saw him call down Jesus. People saw him approach as Jesus finished off the divine beast. And then he has to like welcome and take in this person who's the next person brought down from being a divine beast. But like, the main character already has Greg that he's mentoring, right? And he's not in a position to mentor this other new person, so he's going to have to trust someone else. And that's the next step, when he has to start trusting other people to mentor these people that were recovered from the divine beasts. So I think that's going to be part of the next thing. So I think part of the next thing is going to be defining the new world. This is Hero Explores the New World. So let me open my notepad. Okay. We started as a nobody, just another mech pilot in a struggling rebellion. Okay. Well, the thing is, chapter 12 is where you go into the juxtaposition where he contrasts with the old world. So I think I want to define, instead of going into this, I don't like this. I'm going to change this. Because I think this is more what we're going to do in chapter 12. But chapter 10 is going to be defining the new world. Alright. So we go into, he has the community of people that looked at him as a prophet. The question I come into is, would the rebellion let him come back? Or would they say, we're better off without you, keep the mechs, go do your own thing, but we aren't working with you anymore? And even if he does come back, even if they do accept him back, will the people trust him because he's betrayed them? He literally robbed them. Robbing the rebel base. Did I ever name the rebels? I really should have named the rebels. Like, leaving them just the rebellion. Well, it does kind of lend to like the more fantastical feel of it if they're just the rebellion. So what's his new world look like? I've spent too much time developing Greg to just throw Greg to the wayside. Okay, So that's his new world. His new world is him being the leader of a growing community. He's got this dichotomy where the people he just freed see him as some kind of a prophet and a leader. The people of the old rebel base, the people where he came from, his people, see him as a loose cannon, as a threat. And his new world is walking this balance between the people who like look up to him and the people who very much dislike him and distrust him. So I think that'll be what I do for the new world. Is we'll explore that. Fun and games. This is where it starts to like get to him, and like I want him to be enjoying the new world, which is like the better food, actually knowing what's going on because he's getting the actual intel. And this is going to be creating the conflict. Whereas chapter 10 sets up this thing of building up this new world, of this tension and this problems, the tension and the dual nature of his life. This is going to be him just letting go of that tension. Hold on, let me check something real quick. Okay, good. The music is playing. It'd be really awkward if this whole time the music wasn't playing. So that's going to be the fun in games. He spends more time with the people who see him as a prophet. Where he's leaning into that new world. And he's accepting their praises. And he's letting it get to his head. And this is more about building an imperfect protagonist. Having an imperfect protagonist means there's room for character growth. And you get to have these very difficult scenes of the protagonist just being an idiot. So this is where things are going to suddenly shift. He's leaning towards the people in the outpost, and he's enjoying the benefits of leadership. This is where he has to deal with the consequences of his decisions and the weight of leadership. Okay. Things suddenly shift when people from the outpost start asking him questions he can't answer. People start asking why he gets things they don't. He has that tension begin to return. He's forced to confront how different his world is now. He cannot just ask Tim. What is it? It's conflict. Okay. So that's where he has to confront how different things are. All right. So we're going to deal with the new character that just got freed by not dealing with him, by shuffling him off to have him be followed by one of the other following one of the other characters, probably Tim. Now he's going to be in the leadership position and he's going to be leading Tim, which would be very different. Okay. Okay. Oh, we defined what Jesus' mech was called. It's called the Shepherd. I think I'll do Good Shepherd. The Good Shepherd. Okay. That's where we ended that chapter. That was 9. Did I call them? Hold on. Control F. Okay, yeah, I am calling the Rebellion. Okay. What did I say was the name of the new person? Did I give him a name? Okay. How would I describe it? Hullabaloo, commotion. Oh, wait, is this? I just realized you all can't see what I'm typing. It's below a certain point. Give me a second to adjust this. Hold up. Where is that? I move that up. No, that cuts off the 3/4 of the top of the page. Okay, that's better. This is what I meant about testing my settings. Like, I made all these settings whenever I had that stream where I was setting up all the stuff for this. But I haven't had a writing stream since I got the new computer. So it's very different having the settings. Like, it's very different with the settings like on and like on display and like actually doing the thing. You know what I mean? All right. So he's thinking. Actually, hold on. This text is too small. I'm going to adjust the zoom again. Give me 1 second. There we go. That's better. Let me see. Give me 1 second. All right, yeah, that still fits in the framing. That still fits in the framing, and we've got more readability of the text. That's better. Cool. Awesome. Outstanding. Who was it? Benjamin. Benjamin. Okay, yeah. Ben is the one who doesn't like him. Ben is the pseudo antagonist. What are those things called? What are those things that, like the like mail slots? The things where like it's like a slot on a door where you can put papers in. So it's like kind of like a bin, but it's like at an angle on a door. What's that called? No. Mail slot. That's what it's called? Okay. That's what you always called it? That's not quite what I'm looking for. There's letterbox, letter drops. Mail sorter. Mail flow cabinet. Hanging mail organizer. There it is. That's what it's called. That's what I'm looking for. File folder mail organizer. That's what it is. Okay. So this is where I want to have this like pseudo threatening part where like Ben is clarifying what the situation is. Right? This is where I want to be like I want to like clarify some of the states and the situation of this new world that the main character finds himself in. Okay. And this is where the other shoe drops. That's what's happening here. Um Because he's been spending the last 2 weeks excited and thinking about how this is going to help the rebellion. But now he finds out, yeah, the state church knew what they were doing. These people have no one to reach out to. No one's going to believe them. No one's going to miss them. Even the guards and the management had were specifically chosen because they were expendable, and they have no one that's going to vouch for them. And the word of some random person who claims that they were a divine beast isn't going to go anywhere. And so this whole like mental image, because he'd been building this mental image for 2 weeks while he was in the brig, and he was like building up this mental image that he was going to come out, that if they hadn't started already, he would start a project to utilize the testimony of these people in order to like reach out and help people, and in order to start like convincing people to turn on the state church, to be possible uses for propaganda, all that stuff. He was completely drinking the Kool-Aid, and only to find out, no, you haven't really got anything. Actually, hold on. Let me just look something up right now. Average gold and silver ore mining business is 79.6. $40 million across the world work in artisanal gold mining. Jeez. Okay. Wow, I'm so used to like I want to see how many people are normally working in a gold mine. Um, but it is way lower than I thought. I was expecting like hundreds of people. But like average gold mine has 79.5 people. 79.6 employees. So I'll say 100 employees. Okay. Yeah, definitely would. Yeah, if you were the point 0.6, it would definitely suck. I'm gonna round up to 100 people just because they're working. Like I'm thinking this is like an established mine that's been operating for a while. Hmm. Okay. So this is the new world that he gets himself into. He's risked himself for this opportunity, right? But even though he's risked himself for this opportunity to get Jonah, to get these refugees and everything, he has nothing really to show for it. There's nothing for the rebellion to use or rely on. He's just essentially achieved nothing in that regard. But they're keeping him around because this is now twice that Jesus has been able to solo take down one of the divine beasts. If they can learn, John doesn't really know it yet, but like, the leadership of the rebellion want to learn how Jesus mech works, how the shepherd works, and they want to learn this technology in order to be able to better fight the divine beasts. So they're playing along with Jonah until such a time as they feel like they don't need Jesus anymore. How many words have we got? 899. Not a bad set of words. Let's see if we can get out another 100 some odd words. And see, this is where John's perspective needs to shift, because he's feeling defeated right now because he feels like it was all for nothing because he got nothing the rebellion could use, right? But it wasn't all for nothing. There are 100 people who are now alive and safe that would not have been alive or safe had John not done what he did. So that what he did was not all for nothing, and he needs to learn that. And that's part of his growth and development, is learning that, like, sometimes in rough times you do what you can, you save every life you can. And sometimes you have to trust Jesus to take care of the big picture as you deal with putting out all of the smaller fires. It's messy, it's not ideal, but you do what you can with what you got. So that's about that's the first half dealing with like his introduction. It's funny. I'd originally envisioned Ben as being like the good friend and the supportive leader that was like a member of a supportive management that wanted to be helpful and to do the right thing. Because Ben also feels like the main character just wasted all of this time and resources and energy. But like Ben also needs to realize that there are 100 more people who are alive than would be had the main character not done what he did, and there is one person who is free from his torment that would have just been continued to be exploited by by the state church. I might not leave this sentence in because this is kind of restating the obvious, that he's deflecting, and you kind of want to leave that for your readers to put together. But I'm putting it there because I want to make sure I'm preserving what the idea is right now. Hmm. Okay. So this is where we institute the name, where it becomes name the loving community. How do you spell discipling? Oh, there's no E and only 3 I's. Okay. All right. Let's start winding down for the night. How many words did we get done tonight? We outlined the next 3 chapters. We got how many words done? It's going to be edited down a bunch. I'm not keeping all these words, but what's important is what I did get done. 1,291. Okay. Okay, that was pretty good. And we got the settings cleared up where like now I can, oh, I forgot to close the Book of Faces. Gonna just mute that. Yeah, now just gonna have to now we're set for doing these streams in the future. Okay. Let's jump back to the just chatting screen. Hello. Thank you, Nabiru. It was very nice. Things went pretty well tonight. It's actually really funny. I was oh, what's this? Oh, my cousin's making spaghetti with potatoes in it. That's cool. Just checking on the Book of Faces, see if there's interesting things. Anyway, yeah, we definitely had fun tonight. So, what's everybody's plans for the week? I gotta finish setting up stuff for my Lancer game tomorrow. And I was just checking my calendar, and apparently my mother's going to be in town like on Thursday, and I'd forgotten about it, and she hasn't really talked to me about it. So like I have to reach out to her and find out what that's gonna look like. So I don't know if we're gonna have stream on Friday because I might be spending the day with my mother. So I have absolutely no idea what that's gonna look like because I have no money for travel or for getting anywhere. I have like $8 in my bank account, so I'm like I might be stuck waving from a distance or asking my mom to come pick me up. But yeah, I was just checking my calendar and was like, yeah, my mom will be in town on Thursday. And I'm like, what do I do? One of these days I'll get my mom to watch one of these streams. Maybe if mom's still in town, on Friday night, do a fun stream with mom, figure out how to like get her in through Discord or something. Download Discord onto her laptop and be like, from your hotel room, join the call, and then do like a really silly just like hangout stream where I talk about some of the stuff I've done on stream. Oh. Okay. Okay. All right. So, what are you going to be doing this week? This week, Nabiru? Gonna be doing more manga reading? More of that stealing 999 powers or something? I want to like actually get around to finishing my game. I put in so much work to work on my game, and then I had this random thought because I was watching some anime Watching some anime. What anime you got to catch up on? With Silva, we're currently watching our way through Macross Frontier and through Attack on Titan. Silva's been trying to convince me to get involved with Shaman King, and I'm like, I was kind of interested in Shaman King as a kid, but like I kind of fell out of favor with it because like I love the armor and some of the imagery, but like I needed some giant robots, and then Silva's like, you gotta see some of the newer shaman forms, and one of them literally makes a variable fighter out of their oversoul, and like there are some that are literally just mechs. And I was like, yo, what? Also, did you all hear about Charles Martinet retiring from being Mario? They said he's going to be a Mario ambassador, so he's probably going to be voicing Mario for like some special events and stuff. But like he's not going to be doing the actual Mario games. Which is interesting. So there's this ship. I was just reading a meme about that is the largest ocean-going wooden ship. Probably gonna rewatch Reincarnated as a vending machine. Am I the strongest aristocrats? Otherworldly adventure. Plenty of fun isekais. How is vending machine? I have heard like when vending machine when the light novel for vending machine was announced. I don't know if it was the light novel or if it was the anime that got announced. That everyone was like, this is going to be absolutely ridiculous. You love watching isekais no matter how dumb? Okay. So, but that doesn't answer my question about like what it's like. Is it something that's reincarnated as a sword, slime, a succubus, even reincarnated as a tree? I see this picture of a coming soon sign over a bar, and the sign next to it says free beer, topless bartenders, and false advertising. Vending machine, when it's unique, basically it gives out buffs like a vending machine would give sodas. Okay. I guess. Has to be carried since he's a vending machine. Can he talk? I mean, at least there's no like romance, right? There's no like harem. You only know from the bits you read? Okay. One of the few isekai I never read because I wanted to watch it first. Okay. That's an interesting take. So, like, are you reading it? It's not the weirdest you've seen. What's the weirdest you've seen, Nabiru? Ooh. But I'm curious, Nabiru, what is the weirdest isekai anime you've seen? Because you've seen a lot of anime. Oof. Ah. I had to itch my leg slightly. I think... I'm trying to think about the weirdest anime I've ever seen. Like, it's really funny because like I watched Kill la Kill, right? And I always joked when I was watching Kill la Kill and when it was airing, right? I always joked with my friends that like it would be the most difficult thing ever to explain Kill la Kill to a spouse or to a partner without it sounding absolutely horrible. It's not an isekai, but it's a very bizarre anime. And now I'm in a relationship and I know that my partner like vehemently hates Kill la Kill. And I'm like, well, look how the tables have turned. Or the turns of turntables. Turns of tabled, whatever. It's always funny when things are on the other foot. But sorry, I was thinking, I was looking off. With that said, what else? What other interesting anime have I seen? I watched Evangelion, which, again, not an isekai, but also a very bizarre anime. I watched... Did you type something and did the bot not like it? You said that's maybe the weirdest concept, and I think you probably typed something that the bot didn't like. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, the bot didn't like it. What's the name of the anime? Don't have to describe it, just what's the name? Isekais usually send you into a game or fantasy world, but what if you get isekai'd into a novel based on a game you played? A wild last boss appeared. That's pretty bizarre. So going into a book based on a game, that's... Because normally it's the other way around. Normally it's the game that's based on the book. Or the game that's based on... That's the tie-in with the movie. Main character's still human, but yeah, that's the weirdest concept. You are just a cap to seal your character's memories and powers. Oh yeah, did you hear about the Shiba Inu dog? The one that was the original Shiba meme? Passed recently. The dog's name was Cheems. Also, one other thing I wanted to mention. I was talking... Yeah, it's very sad. And it's another reminder that things pass with time. Also, another thing I wanted to talk about is this upcoming Power Rangers season. I have like tangentially kept up with Power Rangers, seen clips, bits, pieces, watched an episode here or there. And lately they've been really kind of like appealing to like older fans. While still maintaining good episodes for kids to watch. But this upcoming season of Power Rangers is going to be the last season in this continuity. Like, Power Rangers exists across the multiverse, but like this entire multiverse of Power Rangers, Zordon, the morphing grid, you know, Rita Repulsa, Lord Zed, all of that stuff is going to be ending with this season. This is the final season with that, and Hasbro has, I think it's Hasbro, has plans to do a reboot with new everything sometime later on. I think I saw somewhere someone was theorizing they wouldn't be called Zords anymore because there'd be no Zordon. So like their mechs might be called something completely different. It could be a whole new start for something completely new. And part of me is wondering, like, if Hasbro's doing a reboot, right? Will they retain some of the old familiar things? Or will they redefine things? Will they call them Zords for a different reason? Will Zord become an acronym for something, right? Will there be a new Zordon? It'll be interesting. I'm also wondering, like, Silva had a theory that what if instead of translating Super Sentai footage, they translated Kamen Rider footage, because every Kamen Rider season has been featuring multiple riders recently. Like, it's gotten pretty egregious, like even as far back as like Kamen Rider Saber had like a whole squad. But it'll be interesting to see what that looks like. And I'm wondering if this might go the way of past final seasons. If you know anything about the production history of Power Rangers, you know that there have been multiple times when a season was supposed to be the final season of Power Rangers. And traditionally, when it's the final season, the production staff, the actors, the writing crew, they go all out and deliver some absolute bangers. They deliver some top-notch episodes and create a season that stirs up so much fan approval, sells so many toys, stirs up so much interest, and all of that, that it eventually leads to Power Rangers getting picked back up again by a new network, or being revived for later seasons. That's just what's happened multiple times for multiple final seasons. But that makes me wonder. This is going to be one of the first seasons where you're featuring where you're retaining the same cast from the previous season, and they're using the Q Ranger stuff for the Q Ranger Zords, and they're making America original costumes, America original suits that have that I think are cool. I think they're cool with the muscles and stuff. And I think it'll be interesting to see how the show comes out, right? But also I think they're like only airing it on Netflix, and they're not airing it on actual TV, which I think is that's going to be a big blow to that's going to be a big blow to viewership, to getting kids to watch it. Is like one of the big things is like it being on TV, albeit with it getting released as an entire season all at once on Netflix. So many parents have streaming services that it's just going to be it's just going to be like the poor kids that are going to have trouble with it, right? And everybody else is just going to be able to binge it as soon as it comes out, which isn't going to generate as much hype. Unless it's really good. But I'm wondering if the things they're doing differently with the increased production value, having America original suits, retaining the same cast from the previous season, bringing in Lord Zed, bringing in Billy as kind of a mentor character, having Lord Zed have his own essentially evil rangers, his own minions or whatever that they've showed in the poster. Like all these things that they're doing, wondering if that's gonna stir up a bunch of fan reactions where they're like, yo, we really love this, we really enjoy this, and blah 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 blah, and then Hasbro might change their mind about the reboot. Maybe Hasbro decides to let the reboot be just another universe in the Power Rangers multiverse. I think that would be cool. If we're just following another set of Power Rangers in another universe. But it's still part of the same multiverse, so you could still have crossover movies and whatnot, crossover episodes. I think that could be really cool. I think there's a lot of potential in that. All right. Let's wind down. We've been talking about a bunch of stuff. Got a bunch of writing. Got 1,200 words done. All right. Sorry, I got distracted. I was looking at Facebook to see if there was anything cool. I need to watch the Barbie movie one of these days. Oh, Magic Grid, Mecha Dinos instead of Zords. Well, like, the thing is, they're just called Robos in Japan. You sent me a meme. You sent me a meme. What's this meme? What is this? What is this Saber Voltron thing? Is this something from Fate? Is this an actual armor set that she wears in Fate? Oh, you posted it back when I met you, Gal Geiger? Yeah. Because this looks like Saber. Gal Sabegar. It's like some cross between like Gal Geiger and Voltron. Yeah, that is funny. That's definitely funny. Anyway. Oh, you've been watching Hattie play? Yeah, I remember that was a thing. Silva told me. It's funny, Silva messaged me right when I was getting ready to start stream. Like, hey, I'm going to have you in the background because Hattie's doing some big thing for the end of Final Fantasy XIV. I'm like, okay. And that's part of the thing whenever when your friend group has streamers, like, you have to stream. You have to stream when you've scheduled, when your viewers will be there, when you have the time and the energy, whenever you're able to like actually put forth like an entertaining stream, right? But sometimes that's going to coincide with when your friends are streaming, and like you miss your friend's streams. And whenever you have the same friend group, sometimes your friends have to decide who to be paying attention to, even if they try keeping streams open on multiple tabs. Speaking of streams on multiple tabs, did you hear about the Opera GX streamer, the Opera GX VTuber, GX Aura, the British girl, who just debuted the other day? It's funny, there was this whole discourse going around because like her debut hit like 75,000 viewers, which made it like the largest, at least EN VTuber debut on Twitch. And like I think one of the largest VTuber streams, I think they said like Mousie's biggest subathon climbed to like 50,000. So this was huge, right? But like getting up to 75,000 is huge. But the thing is, from what I've heard, the VTuber is very sweet, is very entertaining. You know, there's a reason why she made it through the rigorous application process, and she's going to be a very entertaining streamer, right? But then a lot of people were complaining and getting really like butthurt about it because Opera GX is a browser. And so they advertised her stream on their browser. When she was live for her debut stream, they had, if people were logged into Twitch, or had the people were logged into Twitch through Opera GX, they had her stream embedded on the Opera GX homepage. Now, true, you can just close the Opera GX homepage. Some people were saying it was up on the homepage. People couldn't close it if they were using their browser. I'm like, yeah, no, you can close the Opera GX homepage. You just open another tab. It's not that bad. Like, even if I open it right now. Oh, but actually, oh, I thought it was just another tab you could close. But apparently you can't close it. That's funny. That's funny. You can't close it. It doesn't close. I thought it closed like all the other tabs. You can close other tabs. Ah. Okay, you can move the GX corner to a sidebar. Okay, you can move it to a sidebar, which does close it. Okay. Which I just did, because I don't... But yeah, so people were complaining that Opera GX embedding her stream was bloating her numbers. But here's the thing. She's the Opera GX VTuber. If they didn't do something like that for her debut, everyone would be complaining that they weren't supporting their VTuber, and what's the point of her even being an Opera GX VTuber instead of indie if they're not going to support her, right? So, like, that... They said that, like, they're only going to do it for special streams. They're not going to do it for every stream because it would just get really bloated and difficult to watch and blah, 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 blah. But, like, it's just using the resources at your disposal. And, like, so many people were like, so many indies should get that kind of viewership and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, listen. Like, I do believe there's not enough support for indies in this community. But, like, going after and, like, attacking this Opera GX VTuber who has done nothing wrong is just not where it's at. Like, the VTuber herself is just doing her job. Anyway, let's wind down. We've had a good night. Got a bunch of writing. Got some plotting done. Got about halfway through the next chapter. Let's wind down and let's end for the night. So, for those of you who don't know, I like to say nice things about my viewers at the end of the stream because I believe it's important to say positive and uplifting things to each other about. And I believe that positive affirmation is a healthy part of human interaction. So I say to Superhero 60, to Silva, to Duelist Otaku Naberu, to everyone else who watches this stream and didn't say anything in chat, and to everyone who watches this VOD afterwards, I want to say, I love all of you. I believe in each and every one of you. And I think that each one of you is truly special, one of a kind, and unique. I think that you all possess a precious energy that only you can bring to everything you do. I believe that you make this world a better place by living in it. And I am grateful every day to live in a world with you in it. Thank you for coming to my stream. Thank you for being a part of this community. Thank you for giving me your time, your attention, and your energy week after week, stream after stream. Thank you to all of you for being amazing. Always remember the Star Hunter motto: shoot for the stars, have wonderful adventures, live your dreams, and always stop to enjoy the memes. I do ask that you like the stream. It helps the algorithm with pushing it out to other people. At least I hope it does. I think it does. I'm just kind of running with it. Somebody told me it helps, so I say it helps. But I do appreciate all the likes that you give my streams. I'm always looking to expand the community, to have more people come into the streams and enjoy this content and spend time with more amazing people. If you think you know anyone who might enjoy my content, whether it be a coworker, best friend, neighbor, family member, spouse, child, nephew, niece, aunt, uncle, sibling, what have you, arch nemesis, arch rival, evil overlord, BBEG, anyone you think might enjoy my content, feel free to show them my streams, show them my content, invite them to the next stream. Tentatively, the next stream is scheduled for Friday, 8:30 p.m. EST. I don't know if my mother's still going to be in town, so I might be spending time with my mother. I will post about it. Basically, if you don't hear anything from me, like around like 8:30, or around like, well, actually, I usually put it between like 7:30 and 8. So if you don't see anything from me around that time, it might be delayed at the very least. But I usually try to post around 8 o'clock at the latest. Sometimes it comes out like 8:15. So I can't really promise a time. My life is chaotic, and like ideally I would put out those notifications that I'm going live like an hour before I go live, or like a day before I go live. But like my life is not organized and structured enough for that. Or put together enough for that. That's just what it is. But yeah. So yeah, next stream is going to right now tentatively set for Friday, 8:30 p.m. EST. If you want to follow me on YouTube and what I'm doing here, you can subscribe and ding the notification bell to let you know whenever I go live and when I release any new content. If you want to follow me outside of YouTube and my adventures there, you can follow me on X, Twitter, Zitter, whatever we're calling it. Or you can join my Discord, or you could join my Discord. Links to both of those are in the description down below. I primarily use my Discord as a place for the voice chat and for communication for the different RPG games I run. But I also sometimes interact with people there and answer some questions about different games and stuff. So if you want to interact with me, you can reach me on there. I just ask that you don't like try to sell people tons of stuff, because we've had problems with GFX bots coming on there and trying to sell their stuff. Anyway, yeah. With that said, I do want to say, like I always say at the end of my streams, I do this as a hobby. Don't ever feel that you have to pay to be here or that you have to donate to be welcome. Don't ever feel that like you are required, expected, or supposed to donate. Now, with that said, if you do feel motivated to donate to help me out with things in any way, shape, or form, I'm not going to say no. Links where you can do that are down in the description below. And I appreciate every bit that has been donated in order to help me get to where I am right now. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I'm grateful to all of you, and I'm thankful to all of you for what you've done. Have yourself a wonderful night, and I hope that you all eat something tasty and get a whole bunch of good sleep. Good night, everybody.